carry water, chopping wood, grow a garden, canning goods, in a cabin in the woods. We're just a bit misunderstood. Appalachian Renaissance. Stamp your feet and do the dance. Plant a seed and take a chance on this Appalachian Renaissance.
Deep in the heart of north central West Virginia sits a family farm where the story of food comes to life. And nearby in the town of Elkins, it's Market, with an eclectic collection of real food shoppers sharing their tales, recipes, and music. Hi, I'm your host, Hillbilly Graham, and this is Charm Life.
Making art or making hay, Appalachian Renaissance. Stamp your feet and do the dance.
Hard to believe we're already to the halfway pole of the first season of Charm Life with this, our third cut. Mike is out in the hayfield making his third cut too. While he and the farm crew do the real work around here, we travel north 10 miles or so on US 250 down the Tiger River to Belington, West Virginia, where a little bakery is causing a big stir. Cashier Maggie continues the store tour, a recent emigre from the UK teaches me a new color, and John Merrill is our musical guest. All that and more right here on Charm Life. Though there have been Hinkles living in these hills and hollers for nearly 300 years, my own mother, Cookie, left these parts in the 60s to explore the wider world. As such, I was raised outside of Philadelphia and visited often with family in New York. All that is to say, I know and love good bagels. When I heard there was a bagel shop in Belington, let's just say Hillbilly Graham was skeptical. So I'm over here at the Belington Bagel Bakery this morning, and I've caught up with Katie Wolpert, who says she's a little behind this morning. What's going on here?
Oh, I had a lot of pastry to make, and then I forgot a variety, so I had to go back and make some more. So it's just sort of not enough minutes in the day.
I see you flouring your pan here. There's some cornmeal on the flour. What kind of bagels are those? Those look interesting.
These are our tomato basil, which is our monthly flavor for August. We do 4 flavors that are always the same, and then a 5th flavor that changes each month with the seasons. So this is our little summer season flavor here. We kind of rotate that extra flavor between a savory variety and a sweet variety. So sometimes it'll be like a cinnamon raisin or a blueberry, and then the ramp or the tomato or a pesto.
Now, I'm pretty excited. I've always heard that bagels are boiled, but I've never actually seen a bagel come out of the boiling water. But you have a big vat of steaming hot water here, and you're boiling these bagels.
Yeah, bagels get raised and then boiled and then baked. So it's a real pain in the butt, which is why bagel shops are a golden business opportunity, because they're really annoying to do at home. It's not that hard to bake bread, but bagels are a lot more steps in the process.
Katie, we're a long way from New York City. What in the world were you thinking to open up a bagel shop in Belington, West Virginia?
Well, I have been making bagels in West Virginia for almost 20 years now. And whether it was transplants who were excited to find fresh bagels, or local folks who didn't know how to pronounce the word, everybody liked them, and they sold well. And then furthermore, it's actually a little less infrastructure than sort of a big bread baking oven and that sort of thing. So it was just sort of a practical choice, really.
Well, I'm glad you made it, because I love good bagels.
You know, one thing I tell transplants is that we know all the rules. We follow some of them. One of the rules we don't follow is I don't have like a proofing cabinet. Usually a bagel would be stretched and rolled and proofed overnight in the bagel shape, but we don't have the infrastructure for that. So we do our long proof in the bulk stage as the bulk dough, and so our shapes are just a little more irregular. We do them our own way. I'm not trying to make somebody else's bagel. We're trying to make our bagels. So.
Katie, if you ask any New Yorker, they're going to tell you that the secret to good bagels is the water. So my question for you now is, how does the Tigard outside here compare to the East River?
I think that's a bunch of BS. I don't think it's the water. But our water's great for bagels.
I always knew that was just a bunch of New York hype anyway. All right. Well, I better get out of your way. I'm a little hungry, and I would like to taste one of these bagels, so no bagels are getting made with Hillbilly Graham standing in the kitchen. While waiting for Katie to finish the roasted tomato basil batch, I chatted with Mike and Martha, soon-to-be Cumarado. Where are you guys from, Mike?
Deep Creek Lake, Maryland.
And how did you roll into the Belington Bakery this morning?
Well, we are starting construction on our new home in Belington, and just wanted to come out and check out the local flavor. And we've been here once or twice before and checked out the steam elevator, which is, I think, the only one on the East Coast or something like that. And just the history of the building, and yeah.
Martha noticed the unique flavor immediately.
I expected to get, your normal run-of-the-mill. I don't even think they had plain. So I'm trying something new, and I'm excited for it.
What do you have there?
I have the pepperoni roll bagel.
And in between bites, marveled at the display racks of local art and books.
I will say from the last time it was probably a year ago we were here. The changes has been amazing. Like none of this was here. So just you can see where they're going with it. They've come a long way, and you can see that there's more to come. So I'm excited.
How does this space make you feel?
Oh, nostalgic, a little at home. Certainly a small town feel, but a little hippie vibe, which I dig. So
We don't make hippies use the side door here in Belington, although we make them use the back door. To be fair, all customers use the back door in view of the abandoned West Virginia Central and Pittsburgh rails. The smells in that bagel shop were getting to be too much. Luckily, with those bagels out of the oven, the moment of truth had arrived. I'm getting ready for my first bite. Crunchy crust, chewy center, proper bagel texture dichotomy there. I had to admit, these bagels were legit. I mean, legit. But don't take Hillbilly from Philly's word. The discerning Kramer from Boston said,
I kind of like to think of myself as a bagel connoisseur. I mostly get the everything bagels because they are delicious. I don't usually like an everything bagel, but the amount of salt, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, the way they're placed, the aesthetic is stunning. I'm absolutely in love with these bagels.
And then Justin from North Jersey.
I'm a plain bagel kind of guy. I love a good plain bagel. Crispy on the outside, nice and doughy on the inside, and Belington had a good consistency.
I caught up with Katie a few days later, back over at the Charm Market in Elkins, where I was cutting some ham for her savory creations. We talked about the Belington Bakery's role in her town's awakening. Anybody that's driven through Belington can see that Belington's had better days. The turn of the 19th century, Belington was in the running to be the state capital of West Virginia, and today the Sheets has pulled up their tanks and gone back to Altoona. The Belington Bakery, in my view, is truly a shining light. How do you see your role in the Belington Renaissance?
So I kind of came to this opportunity through my work at Woodlands. Woodlands is a community development organization, and we take cues for all of our projects from community-defined goals. The point is to serve a community need that already exists, right? And whether that need is the product, the pastry and the bagel and some real food like made with real ingredients for folks to eat, or whether that need is visitors that stop and drop money in town and contribute to the local economy, or who get excited about this little sort of flyover county that we live in, contributing to like future for our kids, for our families, for all the generations and that sort of thing. That's maybe like a little high flying for a little bakery, but when you really zoom out to big picture, sometimes my philosophy is that every big thing is only made up of tiny little parts. And so, without all those tiny little parts, you can't have any big idea at all.
Plant a seed and take a chance on this Appalachian Renaissance.
The sticker in the bakery reads, Best Little Bagel Shop in Belington. I must say, these are not only the best bagels on both sides of Mudgut Road in Barbour County, but the entire state of West Virginia. They even beat the legendary H&H dozen I had overnighted from Manhattan. Schmear. Last week, we paused the store tour so Mike could make some pepperoni. Let's resume, with Maggie leading the way into the coolers. Okay, we're moving into an area that I really like in the summertime.
This is the meat cooler. We have the giant meat grinder, the saw.
We're looking at various sides of animals that have just been brought in from the slaughterhouse. Mike's knife is here. The butcher is not yet here. Market's about 30 minutes away, and we're hoping to see Mike soon, as the case is a little bare. Right, it's very cold in here, as it should be. And we'll move into the produce cooler. Maggie, this is your domain.
Yes, this is my domain. Not quite as loud as the meat cooler, a little bit better looking.
Certainly more colorful.
We've got all sorts of things in here, all sorts of produce from the farm, all of our prepackaged items, 4 different kinds of pickles right now, 2 different kinds of sauerkrauts, baba ganoush, salsa.
When you say the prepared foods, these are all foods that are prepared here on site at the Charm Farm food production area in the back. Very nice. Well, I'm standing here and I'm just overwhelmed by the colors. The peppers are on now, and I see orange and red and yellow and green and some even purples.
Yeah, it's a pretty time of the year to be in the cooler and be on the farm.
Let's move out front to where the action is. Maggie and I spend most of our day up front selling this stuff, so let's go see what's going on out front. Go back through the meat cooler here, take the shortcut. Whew. Could use some Charm Farm sweaters. Through another extremely heavy door. You get muscles working here. Last week, on arrival to an empty meat case needing steaks and chops, I noticed a brown paper bag with my name on it and learned from cashier Maggie that a customer living nearby had left it. Michelle, what is this generous package that you've left for me?
These are some heritage beans that come from a neighbor on Lavalette Avenue who got them from his grandmother, and the house that they lived in back before, when he was a kid, before World War II. It was all farmland down there.
Lavalette Avenue is literally 2 blocks away from where we're standing here at the Charm Farm.
Yes.
So I consider this sort of an industrial part of South Elkins. There's the railroad tracks, some of the wood plants around. You say this was farmland?
Well, the tracks were here, but a lot of the houses weren't. My house was first built in 1937, and his was older than that. It's gone now.
I asked who grew the beans that yielded this prized pod.
George, and I've forgotten his last name, but he was in D-Day in World War II, and he said there was nothing between here and Scotts Ford.
Scotts Ford is about a mile or 2 south of us on the backwaters of the Tigard River.
Those beans are, they're runners, and we've planted them ever since he gave me some seed.
What a treasure to have some heirloom beans from Michelle. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Shortly after leaving the market, Michelle called back to clarify that the bean in the bag was actually of the pole variety, lest I be surprised next summer. Hillbilly Graham loves his crime dramas on the BBC, so I thought it'd be fun to explore the store with Joanne Urick, a UK native living now in Elkins. I'm holding in my hand right now a very dense red sphere that's destined for my BLT. Here, I would call this a tomato, and to you?
It's a tomato.
Okay.
It's a tomato.
Let's move around the store a little bit. I see some eggplant over here.
It's an aubergine because it's aubergine in colour, so therefore we call it aubergines.
I looked it up. It's deep purple. Any other special names for any of these foods?
Green beans, we call those green beans.
Green beans are called green beans. That's good to know.
What do you call them?
Green beans.
Okay, that's good.
Joanne, why is it that when people from the UK speak English, they sound so much more intelligent than Americans?
Pass.
Smart lady, smart lady. Don't offend your grocer. That's a good idea. We're moving over to the meat section, and I know that there's a special name, I think, in England for some of these. What do you call these? A 4-pack of kielbasa slid out of the freezer.
These would be, they're big sausages.
How about what's a banger?
Banger, yeah, well that's a very northern old English slang for sausage bangers and mashed bangers. And the reason why they were called bangers is because when you put them in the pan, they would literally, the skins would explode. Back in the old days, when they had real casing skins, that they would pop and explode, and that's why they were called bangers.
And not just in the olden days. I mistakenly turned one of Kira's peach poblano brats with a tined carving fork, and then headed to change my shirt. Let's just say, contents under pressure. From the UK now, let's move a little closer to home on Craven's Run Road, the route I travel between Market on the Tygart River and where Mrs. Graham and I live on the Shavers Fork of the Cheat. We are so blessed with an abundance of musical talent around Elkins. All I had to do was park my car and grab a seat in the kitchen with esteemed area musician and Chaga Tea Project frontman John Merrill. John, welcome to Charm Life.
Thank you. I'm a long-term Appalachian because I was raised in New England. Connecticut and New Hampshire kind of split my time between both. I come from a log and sawmilling background, and that was what I did for a lot of my living besides playing music. I've been in West Virginia since, I guess, about 91.
What brought you down here?
Oh, well, a woman, of course. But also, she had 21 acres that we homesteaded out in Doddridge County. And West Virginia is the third most heavily forested state in the nation. Of course, New Hampshire's the second, so I've lived in a couple, 2 out of 3. We grow a lot of vegetables, but now I'm actively growing a lot of trees. My joke with my old logger friends is I want to grow as many trees as what I ever cut. And they said, yeah, well, you better get growing. But with exponential growth, it's actually could be a possible thing. But I love growing trees.
You have some pretty interesting varieties back there. I noticed one.
Yes, it was rediscovered in China, the Dawn Redwood, and it's the same family as the redwoods, sequoias, and all that. But it loses its needles in the winter, which allows it to survive the cold. Beautiful tree.
What are you going to play for us today, John?
This is a song about. It's called Bounty, and it's about being. It leads into my life's philosophy, which is all the answers are to be found locally, and I think it's going to be the way of the future. And this is in realizing that what we need is already around us. So you ready for that?
Absolutely.
I see bounty all around me, and all you see is things going wrong. I see bounty all around me, and all you see is things going wrong. I'm so happy in the garden, got to write about it, sing it in a song. You gotta mulch the potatoes and weed the carrots too. You gotta mulch your potatoes and weed your carrots too. You gotta plant it like you want it, gotta do it like you do it like you do. Watch the TV news no more. I can't take your TV news no more. I had to unplug that thing and throw it out my back door. I see bounty all around me, and all you see is things going wrong. I see bounty all around me, and all you see is things going wrong. I'm so happy in the garden, got to write about it, sing it in a song. You gotta mulch your potatoes frozen with the carrots too. You gotta munch your potatoes and weed your carrots too. You gotta plant it like you want it, gotta do it like you do it like you do. All right.
I asked John to expound upon his ideas of local solutions, especially with regard to food.
Plant something, grow something, cut into the market share of the big box stores, and grow as much as you can and do as much as you can locally. I mean, most of the things that should concern us today are like our energy, and food is another energy thing. And establish good trading circles, because if someone's your friend, you should be able to trade with them for services or for food or for something like that. And if you can't, how great of a friend were they actually? And food is right up there, because I mean, let's face it, what's more important? It's going to be trust issue. I mean, you're going to want to be able to see the chickens that you get your eggs from. You're going to want to be able to see the cows in the field that you may consume at some point.
Our Charm Life musical guests are entitled to a package of frozen meat, and you were a guitar player and a harmonica player at the same time, so I'm going to present you now with the 2 packages of ground
Which
meat.
is great, because what I always tell everyone is if you can play 2 instruments at the same time, you get double the pay.
This week's edition of From Below the Counter may have been more aptly titled At the Counter, as these 7th graders are growing. As is not uncommon at the market, Mike and a dad he knew got to talking. So Hillbilly Graham did the same with this feller's son. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi.
So I understand that you, like Mike Kwasniewski, the farmer here, are a 4-H'er. Tell me about your 4-H experience.
I won showmanship twice with rabbits and chickens. It was my first year, so I actually had a lot of fun.
What does that mean, showmanship?
It's like when you're first placed and you show your rabbit and chicken like the best, and it's in the best shape, and it's like the prettiest and all that.
What makes a good rabbit?
Like it not having any buck teeth, ear mites, like yellow pea spots on its feet, it not having bruising or any broken ribs or anything like that. To get it good teeth, you gotta feed it like bark and twigs because they'll chew on it. They don't like their teeth good. We actually donate them to Charm Farm.
And what do we do with them?
I think that you guys made a zoo out of them, a petting zoo.
How would it make you feel if you sold your rabbits to the Charm Farm and it ended up, when you said petting zoo, I thought you said stew?
I mean, it'd feed other people and that'd give them like, food and meat. So, I mean, we didn't really want to take them back home because they were destroying the pen and stuff, like eating the bark off of it. And I'm like, why? So.
Have you ever heard of fricassee? That's a nice stew that some people do with rabbits. It's quite yummy.
Yeah.
Tell me about your chickens.
We got about every species of them, a lot of them. My mom tries to get every color of eggs that she can.
I know of like brown eggs and white eggs. Are there other colors?
Yeah, there's like Easter eggs, blue, brown, dark brown. There's black, but we don't have those.
Now you said Easter egg. Are you talking about a chicken that lays colored dyed eggs already?
No, it's like a brown, bluish, light blue kind of egg. We have, I think, quail, turkeys, chickens, rabbits, ducks, and that's it.
That's a lot of eggs. How do you keep them all straight?
We go out and collect them every day. We have like little organizers. We put like these eggs in there and then eggs in cartons, so yeah.
All right, so I don't want to be biting into a duck egg and find out it's a tiny little quail egg. So you keep that organization going, would you?
Right. Yeah, I will.
Ellis Sherrill was back in the market today. This time, though, it wasn't carrots he was seeking.
Well, my mom decided that she was too lazy to come out here and do her own shopping, so I'm here to do it for her.
Was that too busy cough cough?
I hope she hears it that way, but I really meant that she's too a little bit L-A-Z-Y.
What's a typical lunchbox for Ellis, Cheryl?
So for me, I usually have, it really varies, but I've been eating some meatloaf, 100% charb farm meat, and mashed potatoes, 100% charb farm potatoes.
Hey, you're pretty good huckster here for the Charm Farm. That's unprompted.
Well, thank you. You know, I aim to please.
For the record, Ellis's mom, Sarah, is lazy, like a hummingbird on espresso. Hey, Ellis, who do you think baked that meatloaf? Come on, man, that's your mother you're talking about. So one of the cool things about the Charm Farm Butcher and Market is the barter that goes on with other area proprietors. I have with me here Barbie Ice, who provides the maple syrup along with her husband. She doesn't provide her husband, she provides along with her husband the maple syrup for sale here at the market. Today she's arrived with something very interesting. What's in these bottles, Barbie?
That would be our kombucha that we make. It's maple lemon ginger. Our kombucha is made with 2 fermentations. The first one is with black tea, your basic kombucha recipe. And then we do a second fermentation with our maple syrup, Ice's Farm maple syrup, lemon, and fresh grated ginger.
Well, I can't wait to have a cool cup of that here in a minute. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
While I was enjoying a cold glass of maple kombucha, Barb quietly inquired how much we figured Greg could fetch per pound. As I was packing up the technical equipment, meaning the microphone my daughter and Berkeley School of Journalism graduate Cassidy insisted material this rich deserved, a haunting noodling stopped me cold. Instead of the usual credits, disclaimer, and outtakes this week, let's pause our feast and let John Merrill keep it real here on Grass-Fed Community Radio. I'm Hillbilly Graham, and you're listening to Charm Life.
Lost one today in the family, another one's gone too soon. I can't say that I knew her, but I'd give the stars and the moon if I could only just tell her about family and good times we've had. I'd like to take away sorrow in times when things are bad. My mother's walls are covered with pictures. This is as good as it gets. She's probably making a blanket for someone that she's just met. Lost one today in the family, another one's gone too soon. I can't say that I knew her, but I'd give the stars and the moon if I could only just tell her about family and good times we've had. I'd like to take away teardrops and the times when things are bad. Yeah, we always had music. Me and Norm played at the bars, or we'd be back home with family, some of whom could have been the stars. But we lost one today in the family, another one's gone too soon. I can't say that I knew her, but I'd give the stars and the moon. should tell the genesis of that song. I come from a really large family. My mother was one of 16. And so, as families are wont to do, they all got separated and spread out. And so I had heard through what my mother told me, I guess, that my Uncle Artie's granddaughter had died of an overdose. And I was thinking, what can I do? What can, what's this thing I can do? And I decided, well, I'll write a song.